What's going on, everybody? This is Rick from Studio Spades, and today I'm going to show you how to use the loop modifier in Blender and Exploder tool. So let's get started by dragging in a Exploder tool and centering everything to the cursor so that everything is zeroed out. And make sure that everything is selected. Press M, New Collection, Exploder, give it a name. Just keep things organized and go to the modifier window and pin it. All right. Now let's add an object that we're going to apply the loop modifier to as well. I'm using an icosphere and I'm going to switch to a colorful madcap so you can see clearly what's going on here. All right. So as usual, make sure that you put the objects you're processing into a collection as well. So give it a name and disable it, and then make it reappear by using it as one of the layers in Exploder tool. All right, we can collapse that section, and let's go to the position. Let's change the position of this object. So by default, some modifiers might be enabled or not. This one has the modifier noise one enabled. So that of course makes the position get modified by noise, but we're going to show the loop modifier today. So I'm going to switch to loop modifier and maybe put in a lower value here for of 5. All right, and you can see that it's now looping upward because I have entered 5 in the X, Y, Z value here of the vector. That means it travels up by 5 Blender meters in the positive Z axis. So if it changes to -5, it will go downward. And change to 0, everything stops. Change the value here. It'll go on the +Y, -Y, and X does the same. So pretty handy to make looping animations and yeah, make your objects come to life. Now the modifier dropdown is connected to a lot of parameters. You can rotate, change the position, change the scale of instances, but also the plexus effect, the extrude effect, they all have loop modifiers. So I could show you that right now. So let's turn off the position so it will stop moving under explode. And let's go to extrude, enable the first extrude level and extrude something. Make sure you extrude individual faces so that they all extrude individually. Let's put it to 2 for now. Grab the modifier and set it to loop 1. And the same thing loops. Now, if you want to change these parameters of the modifiers, you can go to the loop section, of course, or the modifier section. So we'll go to loop modifier. And since we selected loop 1, we're going to have to change the values of the modifier loop 1. And we have 3 modifiers under loop here. So just make sure you're using the correct one. But for now, I'm going to change loop 1. I'm going to change the time span here, which is set to 1 second by default. Now let's change it to 4. And it'll slow down the loop, as you can see. And you can also make the loop go in steps. So if you fill in a number in steps here, so let's do 8, for example, it'll do the 4-second loop in 8 steps, since we have a time span of 4 and the steps are set to 8. And you can fill in whatever number you want to here. It's a float value, so it'll go beyond the decimal here. But usually it works best if you're using rounded numbers, like 2, 3, 17, whatever. And if you set it to 0, it'll go back to the original smooth loop here. And you can also change the vector range map right here. So we have 0 and 1, which is the default. But let's go back to extrude. That means that it'll go from extrusion 0 to extrusion 2 by using the loop 1 modifier. And if we change the range map, whatever parameter we have filled in, that will change as well. And let's see if we can do some more stuff with this. We could go to the split faces section, for example. Let me just pause the playtime here. Enable it. And for example's sake, just quickly disable extrude. So this was the default icosphere. If we enable split faces, it'll explode by 555 here in this version, 2.16, which is not out yet, but hopefully we'll release it soon. Yeah, it's just a handy way of displaying what split faces can do if you have a value enabled here by default. We can also loop this, of course. Press play again, and it'll explode outwards in this case. But we, of course, have many other functions. We could do a loop of the scale, so the faces could scale up or down. So let's enable loop modifier here as well, loop 1. And it'll go from 0 to 1 across the time we filled in loop modifier 1. Which was, what, 4 seconds? Yeah. And we can do it in steps as well. So let's do 4 steps. Oh, sorry, the timeline looped here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See? And yeah, that's basically how the loop modifier works. You can enable it for lots of parameters. Something to keep in mind. You can combine various loop modifiers, of course. You can, I don't know, maybe use loop 1 for the extrude and loop 2 for the explode. Let's do that for this example. So now I have loop modifier 1 exploding, extruding as well, and of course scaling the face of the extrude as well. So lots of things happening, but it's all synchronized because we're using the same modifier, the same loop modifier. And if you, for example, use loop 2, let's go down to loop 2, which is 8 seconds. You can get nice overlapping and yeah, how do you say it? Polyrhythms. Maybe music producers know what I'm meaning. If you use one modifier at 4 seconds, another one at 8, and another one at 12, for example, you can get really complex and intricate loops of certain parameters. And yeah, it'll make for awesome motion graphics. And of course, as always, try to keep hammering this home. Everything in Exploder Tool is always procedural. So if we add another object to the folder, it gets processed as well. Let me just center it to the world origin here. Let's do it like this. So now the Suzanne, the monkey, is getting extruded, as you can see. And you can always add more objects to the object folder or the collection. And it basically works on all these 6 collections that you could enter here if you want to. But keep in mind that extruding lots of meshes can really make your computer struggle with performing. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's a loop modifier. I hope you learned something, and I'm very curious as to what you guys make with it. So keep sharing those videos. I'm really enjoying the support so far, and keep an eye out for Blender Exploder Tool version 2.16, which will be out very soon. But everything I showed here can already be done in the version that's out now. Okay, so take care.